Well, good, what is it, afternoon, everybody. What is the rumpus? How you doing? I hope you're well. I really do. I really hope you're doing well. I am. I'm surviving. And today this is the second day of the unboxing. Now, I ordered a new board. I adjusted my color a little bit. I ordered a new board, and I also ordered a new naval board that actually has the nose art on the back. But so I just want you to know that this does look dark, and I decided to adjust this. I'm not sure why it came out this way. Honestly, everything is done on the same monitor, and I'm using the same color profiles. So as you can see, if I show you really quick, if I show you this. So this looks fine. This is great. You know, there's nothing wrong with this. I might have to turn off this overhead light. So this looks really good, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with the color on this. Why the game board turned out this way, don't know. But I did order a new one. I did change it, so if anyone does buy it, you're not going to get this darker color. What was I going to say? So, want to introduce you to the cards. First, this is kind of hard. How do I do this with that camera? Let me take the game board away for a minute. I'm going to show you. These are the novice crew cards. And what you'll see is there's a location for the health, which is light, critical, and KIA. Those have markers. And then there's an ammo position, which the corresponding color of dice go. Then there's the veteran cards. These are the veteran cards. So we have Anthony Giles, who is the bombardier. So here we have I forget where the camera is. Here we have the novice card on the left, and then the what's the word? Veteran card here on the right. Every pilot has an ability, or different abilities that you can use during the game. Those abilities are usually activated with the action cards. I'll just show you these action cards. So these are the action cards. All right. There are action cards, these lighter green ones and kind of turquoisey ones. These are for the escorts. Escorts use these. And then these two are used for the naval missions, if you so choose. And then the rest are used for the crew. So these are the different cards. So these have a cost that you can see on the upper right hand corner. There's a cost here. So this is 10. Every mission will give you these are crew action cards. So there's crew action points. So these cap cards, these crew action point cards, you'll see the cap numbers on the missions. What's next? Well, let's look at the Allied aircraft. So these are the Allied aircraft cards that come with the game. Okay. Now the Allied aircraft, when they get hit, you will place a damage marker on these darker squares. If the enemy rolls a 6, it's an automatic takeout of that plane. So I tried to make some interesting somewhat historically accurate paint schemes here. And then you'll see the rating of the aircraft. The lower the rating, the better. It's kind of like an initiative, but it's a little different than initiative. Well, while we're doing aircraft, I might as well show you the enemy aircraft. So here are the German cards that are included in the game. Let me lower that for you to see nice and clearly. So these have linen finish on them, and these are UV coated. So visually, as a designer, my feeling was I don't want to play a game that has the same exact image on all the cards. Even though the planes are the same, the paint schemes are different, right? So that was my not all of them. Some of them are the same. There's like one or two that are similar. Like here's two that are similar. Forgive me. So only like one or two. Might even just be one. I don't know. But, you know, and these cost money, so I didn't want to make too many. But there will be some packs available in the future for certain scenarios. So that is the enemy fighters for the German side. Put that over there. What's next? Yeah, let me just show you some of the miscellaneous cards. There's a takeoff and landing card, which is used obviously when you take off and you land. Very simple instructions for taking off and landing. We have a card that lets you keep track of when you're in formation and out of formation. And then there's some text that tells you what you need to do. This is the sun roll card. So if you roll a d6, and if it's a 1 or a 4, a 5, for example, the sun will be at your 12 o'clock. Yeah, so that's just the random sun direction generator. There's an abort card. Okay. And again, nothing is 3D. These are all hand painted. So if you want to abort, it gives you directions on how to abort, because there are some negative things that happen when you abort. And then we have the enemy and allied control area cards. So you'll keep these at the top of your board. Well, one will be in the deck when you go to the target, and one will be in the deck when you come back, return to base. And that will let you know what needs to change. And then the other card here is this goes in your mission deck. This is the escorts have to return. And because of my Italian genes, I always got to use my hands. I got to just gesticulate like a madman when I talk. And I didn't realize how bad I was doing it. Watched the video I made yesterday, and I realized I was talking like this and moving the card. I got a little motion sick from watching that. So anybody who got sick from watching my previous video, I apologize. I'm very sorry. So the base mission deck is assembled, and I'll show you these in a minute, but I'll just show you it right now. So the base mission deck is assembled from this top area of the mission card. And what you'll see is it tells you you're going to use 3 enemy aircraft, 4 flak, 4 incidents, 3 clear skies, and 3 bonus. And that is how you will assemble your deck. So the enemy aircraft cards, the enemy aircraft attack cards are these. These are the cards. And you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, should be 4. four different what's the word I'm looking for? Four different graphics I used for the enemy cards again, so you don't get too bored. Again, I wanted to make more, but I wanted to finish this game before the end of the year. So these are your enemy aircraft cards. I think there's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, so there's 10 enemy aircraft cards. And we have the bonus cards. So there's bonuses that you get, abilities. There's bonus abilities that you can use. Well, some of them you use, some of them trigger things that you get to use during your mission. Those are always nice to have. So those will pop up as you will shuffle all of these together, these mission cards, to make up your mission deck, and then you'll draw them to progress through your mission. What's this? These are the Clear Sky cards. These cards are probably the only cards in the game that are just like the same generic image. These cards allow you to kind of have a rest, and what they do is they model the passing of a plane, like between attacks. That's kind of what that model. So it gives you an opportunity to have a little rest, reload your ammo, do whatever else you need to do, put out a fire. Who knows? And speaking of fires, here's the incident cards. So there's different incidents here. There's some heat suit malfunctions. There's some oxygen flow. There's Lost in the Clouds, and all the incident cards are red, so they're easy to know, easy to identify. There's some gremlins. We have gremlins. There you can see the gremlin back there. Maybe I should use my right hand. It might be easier to see. I'm right-handed, but I don't know. I use my left hand for so many things as well. Yeah, no oxygen. What was I saying? Ammo feed jams. There's a cabin fire, which is not great. Sometimes the turret gets inoperable. Now, originally I wanted to make the game all tarot size cards. They're easier to read, but because I wanted to really include like a nice graphics and some detail. But because I had to put text on the cards, sometimes I had to sort of fade out some of the images. Like I had to make all these gauges by hand. So these are not photographs of gauges. These are replicated gauges that I made. And I wanted to have those on some of the cards, but you need to read the text. So there's a collision. So these are the incident cards. I forget how many incident cards there are. 15 or something like that. Well, maybe there's 20 something. And then there are the flak cards. So there's two types of flak in the game. There's 88 millimeter, which hits you at all levels, and there's 20 millimeter, which only hits you at lower altitudes. Okay. It turned out all right, I guess. Maybe I can change the muzzle flash. I don't know. Sometimes I get a little perfectionist syndrome. What else are there? So then there's the engine. Let me go through the engine hit cards. So the engine hit cards, it's a deck that you will keep on the side of your game board or somewhere, wherever you want to keep it, really. And anytime your engine takes a hit, or there's some other instances in the game where your engine will have some kind of malfunction. So you'll need to draw from the engine card deck. About half the deck is made up of no incidents. Okay, no incidents. A very boring card, but I did spend some time making a little texture. It's not just gray, I assure you. Some of the detail doesn't come across well on the camera, I can say that. And then the other engine cards, these will all be shuffled together, will have an incident. So you've got an oil leak, you've got a fire, you lose, your supercharger fails, you've got an oil pressure peak, high oil pressure, you've got oil leak card, engine fire, supercharger. Here's an engine pump. There's a bad magneto. You got a cooler failure, oil cooler failure. I think that's it, really. This is when your engine gets knocked out. Yeah, so like this is a case where here I can kind of put the dial, the gauge rather, nice and prominent, but then here I had to write over it, so I kind of had to lower the opacity a little bit so you could read the text clearly, like this card. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time making all of these gauges, which are not 100% accurate. I had to take a couple of liberties, but these gauges are fairly representative of what you find in the plane. And yeah, so that's the engine hit deck. And then there's weather cards. In the beginning of your game, you will draw a weather card. Now, how the weather cards work, they're a little different, a little unique than the other cards. So what you'll do is you'll shuffle the weather cards. You'll choose a weather card, and then you see there's two sides. There's a top and a bottom. So you can rotate it if you want, or you can just keep what you had drawn. So maybe I'm like, I got a feeling that the bottom is going to be better, so I'm going to reverse that. I'm going to flip it over, and I got cloudy at 5,000 feet. I could have had sunny. The drawback with sunny is it has a negative modifier to the enemy attacking you. Right. All right, there you go. So these are the weather cards. Anything else I'm missing? So then the last but not least here. Let's do the bomber cards real quick. I showed this in the unboxing, but just in case you didn't see that video, these are not with Flak Ducker is similar, but it's a little different than the historical one. But these are planes that did not exist. Or the nose art. So this is just my recreation. I forget. Yeah, honestly, forget if Wistful Witch was a plane or not. I don't remember. I think there was a Big Fat Mama. I forget. There was different kind of special deliveries, I think. I don't remember now. Jersey Gem, I think, is my own creation. Hellwagon was an actual B-24. But this is my own nose art. The Doodlebug, I think, was also a B-24. I forget. Howling Wolf is my own design. Spirit of 76. There's been a lot of planes Spirit of 76. So you got 10 bomber cards of the fictional 656, the 565th Squadron. This is based out of England. This is the 8th Air Force. Again, this is sort of my version of a fictional bomber squadron. Sorry about that. Couldn't speak. All right, so getting to the end here. These are the mission dossier cards. There's two types. There's a regular one and there's a naval one. The naval ones have blue borders. The mission dossier cards with this dossier folder that I made. That came out pretty good, I think. Kind of looks good. I like it. Dossier cards is that supposed to be a chalkboard, actually? I wanted to make it legible, so I didn't use any kind of like chalk writing font. And it's hard to see because it's dark, but there is a slight chalkboardy texture here to the card, to the graphic. But anyway, so you get your mission, and you'll have what you need to make the mission deck out of. You'll have how many bombs you have, which represent dice. So you have 8 bombs here, which means you'll have 8 dice. And then when you finish bombing a mission, you'll have a return to base deck to go through. So this tells you how many cards you need to compose that deck of. And then you have your mission altitude over here as well. And if there's no mission altitude, it's 20,000 feet. Tell you where your target is located and what your targets are. And the red text signifies that if you don't bomb this target, it will affect the next mission. Okay, and that's, this is the mission deck. The game comes with 25 missions, and some of them are kind of tough. You definitely might lose your planes on some of these. And those are the dossier cards. The second part of the mission component is this bomb site card. And the bomb site card will show you, well, your target. How it works is you have a dice allocation section on the bottom, and then you have your different targets. So mission number 1, there's an AA gun. It's hard to see, but maybe you can see it on the camera. Oops, there it goes. So there's a little AA section that you need to hit that anti-aircraft. Otherwise, in the next mission, you're going to have to deal with more anti-aircraft than you would have if you had bombed it. So how that works is you're just placing your dice on the location. However, it's not that easy, because when you take damage in your bomber, some of these spots, just as an example, some of these spots will be blocked. You won't be able to use them, so it kind of causes a problem. So that's how that works. Okay, fairly straightforward. And then this is just kind of give you a little preview of the missions here. Operation Meteor, Operation Tempest, Operation Icarus, Operation Vindicator's Shield, Operation Vindicator's Sword. These are not historical missions. These are based on historical. There is a timeline to these that I used of historical missions to certain areas of France and Germany and Belgium. This is Operation White Cap. Sorry. Let me just lower my hand so you can see it more easy. Here's mission number 9, Tempest Fury. This is mission 10. This is Kraken's Clutch. Here's 14, Operation Bison. Operation Tomahawk. Now, from 14 to, I forget, 20 or something, or 17. These all take place in actually the same area. You'll notice this is actually a big map sectioned off. So you might see in your bomb site card, something looks a little familiar. Part of another mission was taking place over there. You'll see there's train tracks in one. You'll see those train tracks come through on the other one. So this is mission 18, 19. It is fun drawing these. If you watch the other video, I talked about how these are not 3D. These are all hand-drawn graphics. Oh, not hand-drawn. I mean, I draw it on the computer. But these aren't 3D graphics. They're 2D. Now here's the train one. Train is steaming along. along there and going to run right into your bombs. I made that made that nice and easy, so you don't feel like you're going to miss the train. And then here's 23, and here's 25. The naval missions that use the naval board. This is the naval board, and the naval missions that use this board are the blue missions here, and I'll kind of go through that next, I guess. So that's the cards. That's all the cards. There's a lot of cards. There's over 200 cards of 200 cards here. I tried to make the artwork look very nice. I did my best. Oh, I didn't talk about these cards. These are the target of opportunity cards. There's only 6 of them in the game. I'm probably going to be making more as a little add-on. So these are kind of side missions that you can partake in. There's a flak nest. There's a train depot. There's a warehouse. There's a, what's the word I'm looking for? Recon photography. There's a target spotting. This is only for the naval missions or coastal missions. And then there's the motor pool. Right? And these are, oh, okay. These are worth different, what's the word I'm looking for? These are worth different, there's some bonuses that you get for other missions when you do these. So there's a little bit of risk and reward involved in that. Let me move these back down here. All right. So that I can talk about the U-boats. So there are naval missions. I'm just going to kind of put all the pieces down here for you. Might be a little hard to see since they're on blue. Sorry about that. All right. So this is the naval mission board. You're trying to find the subs. They're not that hard to find. Just sometimes hard to get to. There's sometimes enemy patrols. You will roll a sub die to give yourself the rating of the sub that you find. So when I find the sub, that's the wrong marker. Sorry. When I find the sub, I flip it over. Then you'll have depth charges. You'll have cubes that you can put here. You'll have cubes you can put there. And so you'll have these depth charge cubes. You'll have fuel cubes, which I don't have over here. They're on the other side of the table. Anyway, so this is the naval missions. Kind of fun. I kind of enjoy it. It's not complicated. It's pretty straightforward and simple. There are tables. There are a couple of tables, like 2 or 3 tables to look up to figure out where the sub is going to move and what kind of U-boat you encounter. They have special abilities. They have damage slots on them as well. So that's how the naval board works. It's a simple little board, and the version you buy will have a Cupid's Cupid on a bomb nose art I put on the back. I did order another one to showcase that, but this version that I got yesterday I don't have that, unfortunately. That was my fault. Not a big deal. That's it. That's the game. And then, like I said, here's the game board that I talked about before that I've changed already because it's too dark. And I still don't know why. And that's it. That's the game. I'm hoping to have a crowd sale for this soon. Maybe sometime in November I will start a crowd sale. Each mission probably takes about an hour or so. There's 25 missions. You don't always clear the missions, so you have to redo them. So, you're looking at probably 30 hours of gameplay, maybe something like that. If you don't rerun the missions or It depends. If your bomber gets shot down, then you need to, here's my bomber. I'm going to use Wistful Witch, and Wistful Witch gets shot down, and I lose my crew. Then the next time I run the mission, maybe I'm going to run the other bomber in the squadron, Hellwagon, and then, hopefully I make it with Hellwagon. There is an RPG element of the game where you can kind of level up your pilot to the veteran cards. After completion of a certain amount of missions, you're able to use the veteran cards, and the veteran cards basically give you just a better ability better ability number. Excuse me. All right, yeah, that's it, everybody. I appreciate you watching. I thank you very much for your time and interest in my game. If you have any questions, please let me know. I think I covered everything. I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and be well, happy, and peaceful. Talk to you again soon.